Good day to you all. Today I shall talk about the basics of political science. That would be the introduction to political science, the meaning of political science, the nature, scope, and importance. What is political science? Political science is the systematic study of state and government. The word political science is derived from the Greek word polis, meaning city, but today it is equivalent to modern sovereign states. The ancient Greek philosophers have laid a good foundation for political science. And the credit of developing the theory of political science on a systematic and scientific basis rightly goes to the Greeks. Especially coming to Socrates, who lived from 470 BC to 399 BC. He was a great ancient Greek philosopher and he was one of the founders of Western philosophy. And then we have a student named Plato, who lived from 427 BC to 347 BC, and he was the founder of Academy in Athens, which lived up to 600 years. The first institution of higher learning in Western world. And the Republic was the masterpiece of Plato, where we find lot of issues on political science discussed in it. And his disciple Aristotle, who is considered to be the father of political science, has laid a scientific foundation to the study of political science and regarded it as a supreme science or master of all sciences. Then we get a question as to, is there no antecedents in India about political science? But in ancient India, the antecedents of politics can be traced back to Rig Veda, Samhitas, the Mahabharata, Ramayana, Arthashastra, which is a treatise on political thought, and even Manusmriti, etc. But the scientific way of studying political science, the credit definitely goes to the Greeks. Coming to the definitions of political science, Professor Garner says, the study of political science begins and ends with the state. Catlin says, political science is the study of political activities of human beings. And H.G. James opines, political science is the science of state. Harold Laswell Abram Kaplan felt it is the study of shaping and sharing of powers. And Robert Dahl refers it to political systems. The scholars like Garris, Garner, Goodenough, Blonsky argue that it is a study of state alone. Sir John Seeley, Stephen Leacock, Robson contended that political science is the study of government. H.J. Lasky, Gettle, Gilchrist, and Paul Janet argue that political science is the study of both state and government. Coming to what should be the scope of political science, there were a lot of arguments, and we find that in 1948, the UNESCO conference in Paris classified the scope of political science to be as political theory, which studies the ideologies and theories, political institutions, which concentrates on the forms of government, constitution, public administration, comparative governments, and so on. The political parties, including political debates, public opinion, pressure groups, elections, electorate, and so on, and international relations, that is international law, United Nations Organization, the various international institutions, peace, treaties, diplomacy, International Court of Justice, and so on. And political science studies state and government in three dimensions as to what it was, a historical study, what it is, an analytical study, and it what to be, an ethical study. To name political science wasn't easy. Coming to the nomenclature of political science, it owes its origin to William Godwin and Mary Wollstonecraft. Sir Frederick Pollock opined the term as science of politics. Gettle called it the science of state, and Aristotle used the word politics. And there were too many other names which were discussed to suit the study of state and government, such as political theory, political philosophy, political thought, political ideology, etc. were suggested. Today, the subject is widely accepted as political science by political scientists who assembled in UNESCO meet. Coming to the nature of political science, under the nature we study as to whether political science is a science or an art. If at all we consider political science as a science, as to why it is a science, because political science studies state and government systematically. A systematic study is considered to be a science. And to some extent, experiments too are possible. Common principles exist, and even we can draw conclusions. To some extent, it could be definite also. So, relationship between causes and effects makes it to be a science, but might not be more exact science, but exact than other social sciences to some extent. If you say whether it is an art, yes, it is an art because of absence of uniform terminology, differences regarding methods, definition and scope, absence of precision, experimentation is not possible, lack of objectivity, difficult to predict future, which doesn't make it a science, but an art. It lacks universal laws too, but it is skillful application of means to achieve a desired end. The end would be good state. That is why we say political science is a science but inexact, art but incomplete. Talking about the significance of political science or the relevance of political science. Is the study significant? Yes, because it inculcates political awareness. It imparts knowledge of state and government. It helps to acquire knowledge of political theories, ideologies, extends knowledge of comparative politics. It provides great training to politicians. It regulates the misuse of power. It promotes good culture. It gives vast knowledge about various constitutions as to how they function. It develops the knowledge of rights and duties, which are very important in a civil society. It renders guidelines to bureaucrats and creates awareness of international relations. And finally, we can conclude saying that political science is very important in order to build a better world. Thank you.